I had a shot like this, and it was contingent on me getting my job. I remember I had to come to LA to sign Christopher Williams. It was this R&B act back in the days. Andre Harrell said, you know, if you could go to LA and sign Christopher, nobody could really get him to sign the contract. You know, I'll give you a job. And so I went and I met with Chris, and I went and bought him a Porsche. And
mind fucked him.
I mean, I think he was trying to mind fuck me, but I don't think he really realized that I also knew the art of mind fucking. And so I got him to sign the contract. And
Then they do us.
A year has passed since the CCNY tragedy, but people have not forgotten what happened, including the event's promoter, 22-year-old Sean Puffy Combs. He was cited in the New York City Deputy Mayor's report for failing to adequately alert student organizers to the need for strong security and crowd.
I already had we was in the MIDI room just rapping, you know, because we would be in the MIDI room while Biggie or Puff would be working in the other two rooms. And he happened to come in and just hear me rhyming, and I already had that rhyme. Like, he heard it and was like, nah, that's me. Let me get that rhyme right there.
It's so the hottest.
He took that and put that on the Benjamins. But me and Sheik didn't like the Benjamins. He almost like forced us to record.
I'm not even sure. We paid a couple mil to get out. We paid almost $3 million to get out.
To get off Bad Boy.
Yeah, we had no $1 million budget. We did one album there, Inch. We did one album. We did Money, Power, Respect there.
This ain't for albums. This is for life.
This is for life, too.
This is why it's worth killing. It ain't like
when this contract's up.
So if this is for the rest of your life, if you make a song, you have the way it stands. He gets money no matter what.
If we make a Give It to Me or in the club, he's gonna make more off that than we are.
And people don't understand.
That's worth throwing it all out the window.
That's worth saying, wake up saying, yo, I'm tired of this, man. I'm literally tired of this. Like, people, yo, it's a hit, and people, you know, people been calling us.
Bad Boy Records, in a partnership with his production company. Cassie's self-titled debut album was released in August 2006 and debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200. And then, well, you probably know what happens next.
When you have a smoking hot product on your hands, people get excited about the product. People fall in love with the product. And Puffy fell in love with Cassie. And that's his girlfriend today.
Puffy is Puffy. I mean, you know, it's all about what he can do, what he can get from people. That's it. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times. Because he never really did nothing for me. I mean, when we were coming up, yeah, you know, we had to do things for each other. But, like, I judge by what happens afterwards. When I was locked up, and here's where Puffy should feel really bad. When I was locked up, Puffy never put a fucking $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my fucking commissary. He never fucking wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that. I got people like Oprah.
That's what you said, Puff, about Christopher Williams sucking your dick for a demo deal, and you cut him a check.
Puff had a brownstone, I believe, on 35th Street and like Park Avenue between, it's some brownstones down there, I believe 35th or 36th, and Mace was staying there, and I went to use the bathroom, and it was a dildo on the bathroom sink, and when I came out, I asked him what's about. He like, that's homeboy's joint, you know, I don't know what it's about. He always have girls over here, but I don't know. I said, well, it's on your sink, this is your bathroom, you're using this bathroom. I don't know where his bathroom at, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's word to my son, cause stop breathing.
Atlanta, we go to those exotic shops where you get all kind of, like, they buy oils, dildos, spooky! Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All kind of shit. So they would just give him a brown paper bag, and they wouldn't even. He'd never put his shit out on the counter when we get ready to take it out. He would always just give a man a wad of money. So they just thought it was cool. So they'll give him a brown bag. He'll go through there. So one day I was walking down the aisle with him, and so then he just stopped and he just started picking this shit up off the aisle. And he was getting he went up there like several times just getting shit down. And so then. I pinned in on what he was, where he was getting it from, and because I was just staying a couple of feet behind him. So when I went by, I looked up. I said, yo. And I seen the shit up there and it said butt plugs. And I said, yo, my man, what'd you get this shit for? And the nigga said, yo, on everything I love, man. He said, yo, Rec, he said, yo, can I do my shopping by myself?
Yo,
this fucking
every
dungeon.
room should
Yeah,
have Rec.
every house
So
should
I
have,
open a door, and in that room there are a bunch of men, and they're all kind of like very like Romanesque, like laying about. And, you know, kind of like very like kind of leaning on each other, not really spooning, but like conversationally spooning. Like if you were spooning but facing each other and like leaning up on your elbow and talking.
Like, how about this? Like in public, watching TV with a bunch of your friends and you're with your girlfriends.
Right, yes.
It would be like those guys kind of lounging on their girlfriends, but they're not fucking, because that would be weird
they
in
weren't
public.
fucking,
right.
but like you almost think that they should be feeding each other grapes. You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, it was very like
regal lounging.
Very erotic.
Okay, all right.
Heavy erotica.
Yeah, like the drawings you would see of like old Greek
Yes, right,
hangouts.
exactly.
Yeah, I
or
understand.
like a fat Greek woman like laid on her side.
Yeah, it would almost be the prelude to an orgy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh
Okay.
my god. It was so prelude to
Okay.
an orgy.
So explain.
So I look. So I'm there for a very brief amount of time because I open the door and clearly I'm not supposed to be in there. And I look, and who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, I know
are
who that is.
basically spooning each other. I swear to God, they're basically spooning and they're drinking a glass of Hennessy, and they're like sharing it. They're like passing it back and forth.
And everyone's talking?
And everyone's just like talking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I see them, I'm like,
all men though. There's not
all
one woman
men,
in this room.
all men. And
Yeah.
they're all 100% on ecstasy. Like you can see Diddy's in like white linen being like, oh my God. Like rub ice on my nipples.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you're one of my best friends.
Right.
So the minute I make eye contact with him, like a gigantic bouncer comes over and says, get the fuck out. Because a lot of people turned and looked at me because it was very unexpected that like a fat guy with an afro,
Right.
with like no shirt on basically, like an open windbreaker,
Right.
opened the door to like this like.
You are kind of a buzzkill.
Definitely.
If I'm on ecstasy and
Right,
getting
no.
ready for a gay
They're like,
orgy.
oh, this guy. Oh, he looks like fucking Gillette Gene Shalit. You know? So, but I looked right at Puff Daddy and he looked right at me.
Yeah.
And we made direct eye contact. And I got kicked out of the room.
Sure.
So that was that.
Yeah, fast. And obviously
So,
crazy. Fast
crazy.
forward.
So I was like, P. Diddy's clearly on ecstasy and
Yeah.
he's clearly gay.
She was amping him to get stopped. Then he was like, yo, so when we gonna get the chance to, you know, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga like fucking.
I owe you a dinner, man. I owe you a fucking dinner. I obviously can't afford to get
I'm
anything
gonna tell you,
else.
like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir. I'm good.
I got Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my
Chance with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
when you
right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
for shit.
No. I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I'll be practicing. I got
Yeah.
man.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your
him.
birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes.
You know what I'm saying?
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah, sure.
Play some.
Hey, yo, I love it all. I love it all, man.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
scrambling
right here, it's right
and
here.
scraping for
No.
shit.
That was you?
Shit lit. You know what I'm saying? So me and Nino just went on the terrace. Like, yo, let's go smoke. We're gonna go smoke one by ourselves. You know, there's a bunch of weed in there. Like, yo, let them smoke. Me and you gonna rub and go on the terrace. You know what I'm saying? And me and him were just sitting in there just having one of the moments like, yo, can you believe it? Like, yo, dog, like, oh shit, this shit really real. Like, yo, we got a deal. Like, you know, we just kids, we hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some told me to look over because of course we high up. You know, I'm looking over and I see like a few dudes walking down the block. I see the bandana. He's always wearing that bandana and shit. So I'm like,
He making it seem like he wasn't out there looking for Pac. Like it was just a coincidence. They was smoking some weed and Tupac just so happened to be rolling down the street and you noticed him because of his bandana.
and some told me to look over because of course we high up. You know, I'm looking over and I see like a few dudes walking down the block. I see the bandana. He's always wearing that bandana and shit. So I'm like,
Yo, let me say this real quick before we continue. You know, like in movies and in cartoons, when it's a villain, And when the villain die, his minion is still living, and the minion try to tiptoe out, and they be like, bring that ass back here.
Oh my goodness.
Remember when Tony Montana killed Frank, and the dude was trembling and shit? He thought like, damn, Tony about to kill me too. He's like, you want a job, man? He's like, yes. Thank you, Tony. That's Lil C's. He was in it all along, being a little minion for Biggie, giggling and rolling his weed and doing God knows what with Biggie.
Big was changing the name on his publishing. He wasn't putting Christopher Wallace or whatever he used on the product. He was using somebody else's name, probably his daughter or something like that. The same shit that Puff did with the Locks. You know what I mean? He was changing the name. So now Puff, when he that little $200,000 he gave him extra for that publishing, he not even getting that money now because Big then changed the name on it. What did say that Lil C say when, and you gotta listen to what people say. He said, we didn't even know Puff was in Quad Studio. So why was Puff in Quad Studio? Right? He knew Junior Mafia was having a session over there. And if Big is writing for them, I'm entitled to that publishing money.
So Puffy knew Tupac was going to get robbed at Quad Studios?
Well, I don't think I'm not going to say he knew exactly he was going to get robbed, but he knew he was going to get dealt with. Because he was up there with Andre Harrell, and he was with Jimmy Henchman. And even though I think Pac may have owed Jimmy some money, or he was being disrespectful with Jimmy, and Jimmy ain't the type of dude that you was going to be disrespectful for, because he had some real wolves. And Jimmy was about it himself. You know what I mean? So now, in that essence, Puff is up there in the office with him. They know they about to deal with Pac. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the extent that Jimmy told him what they was going to do to Pac, or he's going to get dealt with or whatever like that. But I know Puff had a whiff of what was going on. You understand? But his main reason to be there was to probably spy on Big and them in their session with Junior Mafia. Because you got to realize, if you know whenever Big had a hit, who else had a hit? Junior Mafia.
Right.
How did they get that hit? Big wrote it. So if Big is writing hits for somebody else, who is entitled to that publishing? Puff is, because he owned it. That's what was the fight in the studio that night was. The same night they was talking about Snoop. Charlie Baltimore was there, because they was finna do a skit for Puff's album. That same night. When they had the argument about who wrote Lil' Kim shit. When I was telling D-Rock, somebody gonna come kill us, man. They coming to get us. I got a call from Unique, from Mecca Audio. I spoke to Jody Sheena Man them about this shit. Bro, it's gonna go down. If they would have stayed with their plan, like Little C said, we was doing our own thing.
Fuck your bitch, you fat motherfucker. West side, bad boy killers. You know who the realest is, niggas. We bring it to you. First off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim. West side when we ride.
I said, yo, dog, here go your briefcase. Nah, you keep it. I said, yeah, all right. Give me something to do. I'm reading everything in that motherfucker. Nosy, yeah, nigga, I'm reading everything. It's a 6-hour flight to California. Fuck you and feed you beans. I'm reading this shit. At the end of the contract, it didn't even get Big as marketing and publishing. We will explore your requests.
you could see it in your mind and tell somebody
But that's,
you're a producer.
That's where the herbs and the puffs and them get it from.
Mm.
They're in their mind, they're producing the record, composing the record.
Mhm.
So to them, if I take
You know, I was more personable. He liked to sit in the cut, you know what I'm saying? Just smoke his weed. And I was like, yo, tonight is special. We done did something special. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to go to London the next day. And then he was like, yo, I never get to chill with you, man. We done did something great. Can I just postpone London for one more day? And I was like, nah, you need to go to London. He just missed the plane. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, and he showed up at the crib I was at, said, what's up? Yo, let's go to the Soul Train joint. And so we there, and he was just like, yo, but tonight though, I want to chill. And so that's why you got all them pictures of us in the cut with the Cristal and all that. We was just chilling. We just chilling. We was definitely like off our game as far as, you know, the intensity of the situation.
He wanted to be there. A lot of people don't know this. I always tell people, Big loved LA. I mean, everybody should know that by now. He had a whole song called Going Back to Cali. He broke down the whole Cali lifestyle, culture. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be there. But Puffy was working on No Way Out. And Big was just finishing up on Life After Death. So he was like, I'm just going to come out there, help you finish up your album, put the finishing touches on my album, and we just go hang out there for a while. We ain't supposed to have been there as long as we was, but that was all Big idea. He wanted to stay there. He loved the vibe of LA. He wanted to be there.
So the whole rumor that Biggie wanted to go overseas, that wasn't true at all.
It wasn't it shouldn't have been no rumor that he wanted to go. He was supposed to go to do promotion. But they was only sending me and him out there. His road manager couldn't go because our passport situation was kind of like screwed up. And he was like, all right, when I go to LA, who's going to handle all my business for me? Little C's? He's going to be my manager? Like, so he did everything in his world to not go. Like, telling Puff, like, yo, can I cancel that? Like, I don't want to just go out there with just me and C's. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me working. Like, who's going to, like, really overlook everything I have to do out there? So he didn't want to go with just me and him. So he was like, you know, let's find something to do where I could stay. I would work. And the time he stayed, that's when he did the Benjamins remix, and he did the Victory verse. He did all that around that time when we were supposed to went to London. So that's why he was supposed to be there for work, but he didn't want to go because they were just trying to send just me and him. And he couldn't take a manager with him because all our homeboys' passports and situations, you know, wasn't situated for everybody to travel overseas. So he wound up just telling Puff, can he cancel that? And he'll sit back in LA and do some more work. And that's what happened.
Out of curiosity, was it anybody in Biggie's ear telling him not to go to LA, or everybody was down with going to LA?
I mean, yeah, it was some people saying it's not a good idea for us to not be there, for us to be there. Yeah, we was getting that from some of our friends, some of our friends in the industry. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, I don't think it's a good look for you to be out there. But, you know, Big was his own man. And, you know, we all kind of followed suit the way he wanted to do. Big was the boss. None of us was here. None of us would have been in that position we was in if it wasn't for him. So it was always his call. You know what I mean? And he wanted to be there. Point blank, period.
How long was y'all in LA?
For about 2 months. Almost 2 months.
How was it out there?
It was love. It was love. We was all over the place. Having fun, partying, going to eat, going shopping. You know, it was just all love. Every now and then, you know, you would get somebody yell something. You know, you get somebody ride past, yell West Side, or throw it up at you at a mall or something. But there was nothing that we felt like it was life threatening to where we felt like life is in danger type of thing. We knew where we were.
People coming to get you.
I ain't exaggerating at all, man. That's real, son. That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff say. It just surrounds you. It makes you depressed, you know? So I got to rap about it. And that's one of the bad things about the game is when you get large, even your friends will turn against you, man. So I made a song about it.
But I mean, how real is your threat of like people constantly coming and want to shoot
Oh,
you?
man, I mean, that's real. I think about that every day. Every day, it's real. That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to kill me. I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really Everybody's scared. I'll just be paro.
That publishing anyway. If Puff would told that nigga to walk through a lion's den with some pork chop drawers on, that nigga would have did it. Cause he know he had to have that shit in order for his shit to be right. Cause anything he wrote, anything he did from that point on, and still would have been owned by Diddy. So nigga, I gotta play the game. Did you ever ask yourself why would Diddy have the studio and and book big in California after 6 months after Pocket died, after they thought we killed Big J, after all that bullshit, after they thought we had something to do with the Crips with the Crips with Tupac? Did you ever ask yourself, nigga, you're dumb, young, and you're full of cum? Now, let's play swear to God with you. Cause nigga, you're lying and the truth ain't in you. Did you get that, BK Fame? That nigga lying and the truth ain't in him. He said him and Big was scheduled to go to London, but Big didn't want to go because they only had him and Big scheduled to go. Swear to God, Lil C's. Because you're lying and the truth ain't in you, brother. It was only 2 people scheduled to go to London for that promotional tour. And Thursday, prior to Big getting killed, the nigga Puff told Kirk Burrows, nigga, you better squash all that shit. I'm not fucking playing with you. He said, I'm telling you, he ain't going nowhere. That would have been the biggest marketing plan that was set up. And you know who set that up? Kirk Burrows. You know who was supposed to go with him? Kirk Burrows. Swear to God, Lil C's. Swear to God. Nigga, you're lying and the truth ain't in.
He was supposed to go on an international flight with me. We have the itinerary still to this day. He was supposed to leave that early morning, go to London, and we would be out there for 2 or 3 days, and then he would go back to New York and go home. Diddy called Sean P. Diddy, whatever his name was during that time, called late Friday night, early Saturday morning, saying he's not going to London. Call Arista, cancel it. You go. You represent it. You go. He's not going. He wants to stay here in LA. Now, I know for a fact that he was prepared to go, would have loved not to go if his label owner had only said, you don't have to go, Big.
Walk with me, oh Lord, Lord, oh walk with me, oh Lord, Lord, oh walk with me, oh Lord, Lord, oh walk with me.
And out of there. Sean had his album that he was recording. He wanted to do some of it in LA. I think that was a bit of poking your chest out. We could have recorded that album completely in New York. A little bit of, I'm here doing this when you told me not to come here. I came to the awards show. We showed up. You told us not to be there. I went out on the town on Saturday. You told us don't be in your city. And going out on the town on that. Biggie did have an inconvenience. He had a car accident. I think it was in Brooklyn, maybe downtown Brooklyn. He had a broken femur at that time. And he was recovering from that. Big sized person, could not really sit comfortably in a plane, not even first class, with a cast on. It was uncomfortable. He was talked into going to the LA portion of the trip, so that he could be out there ahead of time. He was out in LA so there wouldn't be a big rush and bustle to get him there. So I think he was out there for a good week and a half ahead of time leading into the event. So being out there, we came.
He sounds so upset. All of y'all motherfuckers, fuck you, die slow, motherfucker. My fofo make sure all y'all kids don't grow. You motherfuckers can't be us or see us. We motherfucking thug like riders, west side till we die.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Give him a round of applause. The Academy Award goes to the actor, Tupac Shakur. Give him a round of
I
applause.
wasn't feeling that then. When Snoop was calling him, asking for his location, he wasn't feeling that at all.
No, he wasn't feeling it, and he wasn't gonna do it. And like I told you, Lil C's wasn't even around. After he did that shit with Charlie Baltimore, Big put him on ice. And if you don't believe he on ice, look at the Notorious video. They got Money L in there.
If I can't make them write rhymes, I can't make them want it. You know what I'm saying? If it's given to you on a silver platter, you can't always expect it to be given to you. You know what I'm saying? I took the hungry members. I took Lil' Kim. She was hungry. She wanted to do her thing. She writes. She was like, yo, I need to get my joint out. They feeling me. I'm like, yo, I'm with you. Put it out. Right now, we got another hungry rapper, Lil C. He's trying to do his thing. I'm putting his joint out. If the Mafia decide, after seeing Kim with her platinum album and after seeing C's with his gold joint, if they feel like, yo, we need to get our stuff together and work on a new joint, we can get started. Until then, I'm going with the money, man. I still got love for them. They still my fam. We eat, smoke together. It's all gravy.
Still, my nigga, change your name. Come on. And I see no integrity in your name. And I'm haunted by the ghost of St. James. I'm the ghost of Wolf, ghost of Rizzo. Come with the facts you never considered. I'm the ghost of Shine. I speak for every artist never spoke their mind. Representing every artist that was left behind. From Craig Mack to G-Dep. I still remember them kids champions. For every producer you ever stole a sample. You had a chance to do right, and I understand you. You can't stop a nigga came from weak and careful. Karma came and gave him dollars for what he did to Kim Porter. Man, the day he dies, he rests in piss water. I'm not hating on your Billy worth, no. Right now, I'm only saying what you really worth. You ain't an architect. You just a nigga know how to market death. Go pay his mama what she really worth, nigga.
The way out. It was a
Biggie Smalls' tribute song, Sean Puffy Combs says he found inspiration in the 80s hit single for The Police, Every Breath You Take.
It was like 2 weeks after the death of Biggie. I was just, watching MTV, just being in the house, and that song came on, and it just made me feel a certain way.
Through Missing You, I still kind of was talking to my mother, because not too long before that, I had lost my mother. Anybody that's ever lost their mother still knows, you still real from that every day to the day. So it was kind of easy for me to jump into that character. It didn't take long. Wow. The record, we did the record on my part, probably about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. Once I did it, I referenced it. He heard it. That's it. I made sure I stayed with him. I made sure that I walked him through.
Be that bright. I read Big's contract. Big wanted his marketing and his publishing back more than he wanted anything. Bad Boy Records, and I'm gonna give y'all something. Bad Boy Records, when you sign with them, they automatically took 50% of your publishing. That means you only have 50% left. Part of that went to the writers. Part of that went to the producer. Part of that went to whoever took a place and a part in making those records. So, if Puff is on Big record, and he gets 5% of whatever he did on that record, that's 45% only left in publishing. If the music person who made the music is getting 26%, that's 31% already gone. It's only 19% left in the publishing of that record. You do the math. Oh, you can't do the math.
Touch Biggie. No, hell no, they ain't touch Biggie. They trying to mess with me.
You crazy.
You've been here
Let's tell me what time we gonna link up, man. We should be over here in a minute.
Around 12 o'clock.
Why are you in the conversation?
Build the rough, scandalous. The more weed smoke, I puff.
Now, folks, shit for that ass. Puff Daddy.
Who's lounging, celebrating.
Yeah. When I made music, I made all types of music. I made from Faith to 112 to Jodeci to Mary J. Blige to Biggie, you know. And Biggie was definitely one of my greatest accomplishments.